In order to perform a search, the user must first open the Oyster 2 perspective. Having done so, you can see that the search view is divided into two sections. These are Query Settings and Query Parameters. The first element, namely the server combo, allows the user to select the server on which he or she wishes to work. We can edit this list by adding or removing elements as required. If there's a need to customize the Query Parameters section, we can achieve it via the Select Attributes option. Here you can see all the possible fields that can be used in the search. In this case, we're only going to use the URI parameter. Now we can enter a value like RDF and select an appropriate comparator. Equal, like, not like, or not equal. In this particular instance, we'll select like. Clicking the Search button reveals the results to our search. If we double-click in one of the results, the precise details are displayed. Now, if we were to click in one of these blue fields, we can perform a search for that specific parameter. In this case, we've performed a search where the number of properties is equal to 1. New OMV instances can be added to the server with the Submit dialog. The first combo is for selecting the server to work with. This combo is editable. The second combo is for selecting the object which the user wants to submit. Each element has default parameters. These parameters can be customized with the Select Attribute button. In this case, we'll only use some of them. Now we can enter a value for all the required parameters. In this case, we enter the URI parameter, a description, an ontology name, the resource locator. In this case, the value will be the same as the URI, and a number of axioms. Click OK. If everything is OK, you'll see a confirmation message. To be sure that the element has been added, we can perform a search with the URI of the new element. In order to update OMV instances, the user needs to select one of the results and click in the Update action. The Submit dialog will be displayed with the values of that result. We can customize the attributes to be updated with the Attribute Selection dialog. In this case, we retain the original parameters of the result and also add two new ones, namely number of classes and creation date. So let's change the description and enter a creation date. We can enter a value for number of classes, and we can also change the number of axioms. Click OK. If everything went well, we'll get a success message. And, just to be sure, we ought to perform a search for that parameter in order to check that everything has been updated correctly. When the removal of OMV instances is required, the user should select one of the results and click in the Delete action. If everything's OK, we'll again be presented with a success message. As a confirmation check, perform a search for that element again. Before consulting the OMV data of the ontology in the Entity Properties view, we have to go to Window, Preferences, Neon Toolkit Preferences, and finally OMV Server Preference. Now select your preferred default server. Note that this server list is editable. Once the server has been selected, click OK. In order to consult the OMV data of a given ontology, we only have to select the ontology and the OMV data tab that's found in the Entity Properties view. All the relevant details of that ontology will now be displayed. And as we've already seen, information relating to that ontology can be edited directly. To import a new ontology, the user must select one of the results and click the relevant download action. If no errors have been encountered and reported, the Ontology Navigator will report that the export was successful. And that concludes this demo of the Oyster GUI plugin.